Hey, what is going on? It's Tuesday, and that means it's time to record episode 61 of the Client by Client podcast. This episode will be coming out on the 10th of July. That means that if you go to the podcast today, Tuesday, June 27th, that episode 52 just went live, which is all about commandment number 1, making juicy offers. Be sure to go tune in today so you can understand the first of the 10 commandments of successful online coaches. And then over the coming months, we're going to be talking about each of the commandments one by one as we make our way through them. Today, we're talking about a lead generation strategy. Yesterday, we talked about the 5 books that changed my life and business and stand to do the same for you. So if you're on Facebook or for your online here on social media, you can scroll one up or down depending on the platform, and you should see that. If not, that'll be on the podcast here in the next couple weeks. That said, let's hop in and let's bring this to life. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. On yesterday's podcast, I had to go through my library, and what I had to do is sit down and say, if there are only 5 books that I really have to get credit to for changing my life, for changing my business, what are they? And so yesterday, on yesterday's episode, I share with you what those 5 books are, and I give you a little bit of a case for each for why you should read, what some of my high-level takeaways were, and why you should go and just consume these books right away. So be sure to backtrack one episode to hear those 5 books that I recommend for both business and for life that made the biggest impact on me, that stand to make an impact for you. In today's episode, I want to talk about a strategy that you're seeing other online coaches do, that you're seeing other online entrepreneurs do, that you either might be doing but not executing on correctly, or you're questioning why others are doing it. You haven't done it yet because you don't know if it works. You may not know why it works. You may not know how it works. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about the DM me this word strategy, talk about why it works, why you need to be doing it or doing more of it, or who this also might not be for. Before we talk about how to actually do this, the why, the what, and the how, I think it's important for you to understand what happens if you don't get this right. The first thing that happens is that your lead flow, it stays low or it stays inconsistent. And that's frustrating because you're investing all of this time and energy, sometimes money, on social media and on content, and you have followers, but you don't have clients. The second thing that happens is that you invest a lot of time on landing pages, on the technology, on social media, on content, on all the things it takes to run your online business, but you still don't have enough leads. And that's frustrating because you start to feel like you're wasting time and money and you don't have the results to show for it. That said, let's hop in and let's talk about this strategy and a little bit about why you need to be doing more of it. Let's start that over. So let's hop in and let's talk about this strategy. The first reason why you need to be, let me start this over. For the majority of you tuning into this episode right now, you're looking for more strategies to be generating leads. And that can also lead us when we don't have, I had to discipline the dogs. For most of you guys tuning into this episode right now, you are wanting more leads and you're trying a lot of different things. If you aren't doing paid ads right now, you're probably considering it, or you're dying to get your next client in so you have the investment to go and start it. And so this is another part of my case against paid traffic and my case for you keeping it simple. Because there are coaches out there younger than you and not nearly as sufficient in the subject matter that you're an expert in, who are running circles around you because they're willing to try different things. They're willing to tweak on that trying. They get the feedback and they keep making modifications and they keep winning with these strategies. So I wanted to bring this one here today because a lot of you guys are skeptical. You see me or you hear me on this show, or you go to your favorite online coach on Instagram and you see them doing this strategy where they're on their story or you're reading a caption on one of their photos or one of their posts and it says, DM me this word. You've all seen it. It says, DM me, like mine, it says clients. You could say active, DM me strategy, DM me moms if you help single moms get their high school bodies back. DM me dads if you help dads to reinvent themselves after 50. And so you see other people calling their audience to action, but maybe you're a little bit jaded for one reason or another. Maybe you think that because your social media following isn't as large as whatever coach you're following, that it might not work for you. So I thought I'd give you guys a little more background on the idea of this strategy, on why it works, and some components and a little bit of a case for you to be trying it out a little more. The first reason why I'm a big fan of DM me this word or reply with this word if we're thinking about email is because this goes along with my mindset of give in public. If you're not familiar, it's the idea that you as an online coach, as an online entrepreneur and business owner, you should be giving in public, giving away your best stuff, giving away resources, giving away lead magnets. We're going to talk about what makes a killer lead magnet tomorrow, so be sure to circle back for that. And giving away your best resources. Some of my best resources that you hear me giving away all the time. My free tool that I made, GetBookedCRM. Maybe you have a calculator or a spreadsheet, some sort of tracker. There's a tool that you could give away. Maybe you have that already and you're not thinking about it. That's why I say that. Worksheets, PDFs, downloads, videos, trainings, master classes, and webinars. These all make great things to give away for free to your audience so that they can become prospects. Because although it's great when someone discovers us and we are the right energetic match for them in that exact moment and they sign up, Bluebird client, voila, the majority of your clients, thinking back to the buyer's framework, the majority of them are going to need a little bit more than 2 weeks, somewhere in between 2 weeks and 2 years to really warm up to you if they ever buy at all. And so when you give in public, this creates the right relationship for those folks who are skeptical, who don't know you personally, who have no friends who are in your coaching program, who have maybe never joined a coaching program or worked with a coach before. And so some people will just trust you and take you at your word and have the money and make that investment. The overwhelming majority of them are going to make life decisions for how to prioritize their finances and their budget, even when they have all the money and money is not an issue for them. The smartest people, like the most financially well off, look at every penny coming through. So they're going to be adjusting those things. They're going to be looking at how to make it possible, but they're going to need to have a little bit of information. So when you give away free stuff, I know I'm telling you something you already know. When you give away free stuff, it gets them to think about working with you, and it gets them to see your expertise and your skill level. And if it's talking about and dealing with the exact problem they have right there, now we're increasing the likelihood that they're going to take the next step. So the first reason why I'm such a big fan of DM me this word is because it goes along with the mindset of giving in public and then selling in. It gives the first reason why I'm such a fan of this is because it follows along with the adage of giving in public. Your goal of every social media post should be to give in public, and it should also call your audience to action. So at the end of the story where you're talking about your lead magnet, or at the bottom of your caption when you're talking about one of the big 3 problems that your target market has, you can totally just put a simple single line there that says DM me this word for more. And then maybe you have a lead magnet, a training, a something that goes directly with it, or maybe that you pulled that clip or that piece of content out. And now what's great about that is that it allows for you to start the conversation, which takes us into step number 2, because you've been listening to the show, you already understand the importance of conversation. So I'm not going to berate the point here today like I just did about giving in public, about starting conversations. So the second thing here on why this works and why you need to be doing more of it is because when you're in more conversation, this allows for you to uncover buying intent. The majority of you guys want people to comment, or the majority of you guys think that those commenters, those people who are replying to your story or leaving comments, interacting, you're looking at them as buyers. But in reality, they're more suspect of you right now than they are prospects. And so in order to discover if they have a problem, if you're suited to solve that problem, and if they're looking to solve that problem now, well, you need to have a conversation with them. And so when you have the right kind of conversation and you're not either avoiding the conversation and the interaction with them in Instagram Messenger or Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, and your email replies, and you're willing to go back and forth with them, and you know what to say and not say to actually get the client and not blow it, well, now you can actually discover if they are intending on buying. And a couple clues that can give you, some insight if they're intending on buying is that they're actually interacting with you back and forth. The second thing is like they're an actual real human and they're kind of cool. Third is that they have the problem or a problem that you're suited to solve. And then fourth, they're looking to have it solved sooner than later. Fifth, they have the money to actually solve it. You can uncover all of that through a conversation and or booking a call in that conversation. The majority of the people who comment on your stuff are not going to go and book a call on their own. The majority of the people who ask for your lead magnets and for the free resources that you have, they're not going to go and book a call and buy on their own. So you have to inch those things forward. And when you've given in public, to point number one, and now you're in a private conversation with them, you can uncover those things and see if there is a direct need. And this allows for you to really uncover if they're intending on buying, which is some great information to have. Imagine if you knew every one of your followers, if they're intending on buying or not, and maybe even when. Like, what could you do with that data? Chris, my man, great to see you on here, bro. Thanks for hopping in and for being here during the live recording. Means a lot. Got a lot of love for you, brother. Appreciate you being here. Thing number 3, when you give in public and now you're having a conversation, this allows for you to do something magical that is the point of your online business or get you to the point of your online business. You're here to make an impact, to create more success stories, and you're also here to generate revenue for your online business. This is how business works. This is the point of business. Yes, you want to help people, but you can do that without having a business. You can make a lot of impact on the world without having a business. But when you are even-minded, when you are considering your own needs and their own needs, and you have a solution to other people's problems, that gives you the right to charge, as you should. It also allows for you to sell in private. So giving in public is just the first half. That's the amazing, that's your, you're giving to the world. The selling in private is a bit more selfish, but when you think about a sale, you're allowing for a transformation to take place through your clients. And your clients will often start to experience the beginning of that transformation the moment they actually make that investment in themselves and take a little bit of that risk and take that big step that they've been waiting and praying on, that you're showing up and providing for them. And so when they take that big step and they actually make that investment, this would not have happened on its own. No one goes to your landing pages and just buys. No one is going to just find you and go and buy. It is the exception, not the standard. And so you have to have more conversations by giving away more things in private. So you have more opportunities, to point number 3, to be selling in private. And so when you are using this idea of DM me guide, DM me training, grab your phone right now, tap on Instagram, search my username, and send me the letters CRM. When you're giving directions like that are specific, that are to the point, and where there's something in it for them, it's far more likely you're going to march way more people into your training. And that's not where it stops. You're going to go into a conversation and you're going to say, hey, here's the thing you asked for. Can I send you the thing you asked for here right in Instagram? All right, cool. Here it is. Go there and download it, and then let me know here that you're all good. Cool? So that goes from telling them what to do to get the thing, to ask for the thing and request the thing. Now you're telling them how to get the thing. Now when you have a conversation back and forth with them, it's warm. You've had some dialogue back and forth with many of your prospects for the first time. Now when you start to ask a couple questions, how much more likely are they going to be to actually be answering them? How much more likely are they to consider hopping on a call with you when you discover a need and say, what are your thoughts on this? And before you say, what are your thoughts on this? You say, are you looking for some help? Too many of you want the client to sign up the first time they find you, and you're overlooking and underestimating the things that need to happen in between. Give them the thing. Tell them what to do with the thing after they've DM'd you the word. And once they've DM'd you the word and you've given them the thing, 24 hours later, circle back and say, are you looking for this result? Hey, by the way, are you looking to lose 10 pounds as we're rolling into summer? Hey, are you looking to reinvent yourself on the second part of your life? Hey, are you looking for some more clients right now? If you give an easy yes like that, they're far more likely now to be answering your next questions. And when your strategy call and your sales call, that should have a really good, well-named, clear label on it, doesn't cost anything, and there's no risk for them to hop on that, and you've been kind of cool, and you've given them something that was kind of helpful, even though they downloaded it, but they didn't consume it, you are far more likely to get the client than you are just by posting on social media and hoping and praying that someone signs up and someone books a call. Hoping and praying is not the strategy that's going to help you grow your online business. It's focus, right? Back to the 7 1s as we start to wrap this up. You got to have one goal with one offer for one target market, one sales strategy to get them there, one growth strategy to actually be building your online business, 1 year of focus on these 6 things, and then 1 hour a day in conversations. That is your pathway to $1 million. That's your pathway to your first $1 million as an online coach, and that's your pathway to $1 million a year in online coaching. It doesn't change. You just double down on it as you go. So these are the 3 reasons why this works. You can give in public. It allows for you to uncover the buying intention, and it allows for you to sell in private. 4th, why you need to be doing this is because it works. You're counting on your landing pages and your social media content to bring you in leads, and they might get you 1 or 2 here and there. If you're wanting to wake up every single day with 3 or 4, you have to start providing ways for people to get into a conversation with you. And what this starts with is on your story, on your post, on your next caption, in your bio, is giving them the next step. And when you have them DM you a word to get a result that they are wanting, you've now uncovered a little bit more buying intention. You're now in a conversation with a prospect that's not cold, that's moderately warm. And the more you ask the right questions and don't blow it, the more likely they are to hop on that call, the more likely you are to wind up at the end with that client. Chris says, any tips for jumping the hurdle of your first live stream on your own? Topics, do's and don'ts, etc. Totally. That's a great question. The first thing that I would recommend, I'm speaking to a majority of my audience, not just here to you, Chris. A lot of people will jump this step without having enough clients. And so what I would always implore you to do is to spend the first half of your day in that prospecting, in the getting to the money, and in having real conversations with real human beings so that you can do things like this on a daily basis for a long period of time. The going live part isn't hard. It's having the confidence in yourself to get there. And the only way that confidence is really built over time is having an undeniable stack of results through client testimonials, through helping real people, through you just knowing your stuff and doing it every single day and being that thing. The coming live, that's the easy part. The hard part is in your heart of hearts, believing that you're the right person to be delivering that live thing. That's speaking from my own experience. A lot of people will experience resistance. Like, I didn't do this show. I thought about doing it for like 2 or 3 years and I just didn't. But every day I was still on story and I was doing things and I would do lives here and there. But because I have a podcast and I made the commitment outside of this live to be having an ongoing podcast, it makes doing this live very easy, because this allows me to do one of the most important things for online coaches that they avoid or they don't do, which is getting visible. So I get visible a minimum of 5 times a week on most platforms because I'm here live. And then every day I do a story promoting what's actually going on the podcast outside of the lives once they're edited. And then I just share what happened on yesterday's podcast. And so that keeps me here and showing up every day live. Chris says, should I have my offer pages? Whoa, hang on here. Let me fix that. Add. Here we go. Better. That was weird. Should I have my offer sites, pages, etc. ready first? I have been holding back because my backend is not there yet. I'm so glad you're here, Chris. I'm so glad you're here today. And for those of you who have the same questions, Chris, I'm so glad that you get to be here. And Chris, thank you for being fearless in asking this. I am so big on don't do sales pages, don't do landing pages, don't do back end or anything. All you need is an offer and a human being there to ask them questions and see if they have the problem that you can solve. What you don't need is landing pages, fancy websites, checkout carts, automated delivery, Kajabi, or all of those things. If you're thinking about all of those things, we just have it wrong right now. And I'm assuming that we're below our first 3 clients, or that we don't have 3 paying clients in right now. Like, simplicity is the name of this game in online coaching, and it's very easy to overcomplicate it with the technology and the needing to look like other coaches. I haven't updated my site in years. And I even plug my site at the beginning of every episode, but there's enough there to send you to my group, send you to some stuff that I have for free. But my whole goal is to get people in conversation, because that's the name of the game. So I'm so glad you asked that. Anything back end, scrap it. Don't worry about it. You need to go and get your first 3 to 5 clients. And then you need to get 3 to 5 clients every month. And with that revenue and with all of that, you can just pay a part-timer to take care of all of that for you, who's in the Philippines or in Indonesia or in Mexico. They're way more than qualified to press the buttons and to do the things, and you don't have to jumble your mind with any of it. All you have to focus on is doing the thing that's going to keep the business lights on, which is selling. Great question. Chris says, transitioning from senior media buyer at agency to my own biz, so building a new offer. If you are still the senior media buyer at the agency, I don't know your whole situation, and you don't have to share it here on this live. I would implore you to not transition out of that until you are consistently getting revenue from your clients, until the train of your business, the 2-train theory back to Neil Strauss. Right now, you're on one track on top of one train that's going full speed, assuming that you're still in your full-time job, getting that regular paycheck. As you build a business, you're building a second train in the far background that's going to be hopefully catching up to your second train. That takes putting in coal. That takes some energy to get going. If you ever see a train get going, it's super slow. It's always slower than you think it's going to be. Over time, with enough energy and doing the right things in the right order at the right time for enough time, that train, that coaching business or your next business will start to catch up to the train you're on. And then from there, you're just going to take one foot and put it on the other train. And then you're on both trains now, and you're going to remove to the other train. You get to focus on that. And so that's the equivalent of your new business pay being able to replace in part or in full, hopefully, your employment revenue. I'm not. When I transitioned, I was hired by our biggest client for in-house, but that didn't work out. Yeah, so like right now, money is the name of your game, not back end. Not let me make something cool, not let me make a course. You need to go be having conversations with people that have the problem that you can solve. If I remember correctly, you said media buying. You said, I think, graphic design in the past, if I'm not mistaken. So you need to go find people to do that with. I have a guy, and I really like him in my DMs right now. I really like him, and I hate being a dick. But I came up from this. I came from zero, and I didn't start at coaching. I started in online services, and I started in from scratch. From like, let me make a list of 5 podcasters and what problems do they have. And like, here's what I'm getting to. Like, I hate being a dick to this guy because I'm always open. I'm not saying pitch me, but I'm always open to being pitched. And I'm always open to like hiring others to do things in my business. It's just so few know how to approach it. The majority of you, not you, Chris, not others watching this, but the overwhelming majority of you, when it comes to pitching others like me with a digital service, which I said like works like gangbusters, is that you come to my DM and say, would you like this thing? Instead of saying, hey, I did this thing for you. Post it, check it out. Here's how to actually use it. Here's step 1, 2, and 3. Go and do that. It's my gift to you. And if you absolutely love it and the results are great, I'd love to have a conversation. I'd love to have a conversation and just kind of be friends with you, and then also see if there's the ability for us to potentially work together sometime in the future. So Chris, you need to go have that conversation 10 times over the next 3 or 4 days. You'll have a client. Media buying strategy, tracking organic paid. Okay, so make a list of all the people who need those things. And better to start with who's already paying for those things. Not let me go because I like this person and let me see if they want it. Go and find hard, tangible evidence that they are either paying for someone to do the work that you're going to pitch them on, or that they need the work, or that maybe they're doing it themselves, and go and show them, go and like do the thing for them. Start inserting yourself into their business. Like, this is how I've made my whole career and how I got into coaching. I made myself a fixture in other people's businesses. And I started by not saying, hey, I can do this thing. Would you like me to do it? No, I did the damn thing. I gave it to them as a gift with nothing asking for return, none of their time, none of their nothing. Just saying, if you like it, I'd love to have a talk with your team and maybe even do a test run together. Here's one episode I just did for you. If you like it, hook me up with your team, and I'd love to do the next 4 for you to see results. And I can use you as a case study if you're open to it. And if you're loving it, we could totally talk about what working together would look like. Great questions, bro. You got this. It's just a matter of focusing on the right things and keeping the main thing. Personal brand, email, list building, your website, the back end, Kajabi, all of that is nothing. Even an offer, you can make an offer on a person by person basis. You can totally make your list of podcasters who you have at least some proof of like them doing or paying someone else to do the thing that you want to do. And then like write out what you would do for them. And then you can figure out, once they like you, once they open your email, once they actually check out your thing, Once they get some results and do all of that, how much more open are they going to be to having a conversation with you? And then here's what's better. When you get on the phone with them, you can actually uncover the real need. A lot of you guys want to pitch me on like editing my podcast. I got that covered. Maybe you have a better solution, but like I'm not just going to consider you because you pitch me. Here's some just advice for everyone, and advice what goes through the people that you're wanting to pitch and work with, what's going on in their mind, is I have that covered, but I like you. Let's totally hop on the phone and let's see what need we can find. I already have someone editing the podcast, but like if you're driven and like you're hungry for some money and like you want to be a part of this, like we can find, it's about getting people on the bus. So also be open to different seats on the bus. Yeah, I love this series. It's so good. And I'm sure this will help not only me, but others who may be in the same place. Yeah, totally, bro. You got this. I believe in you. It's just about cutting away the unnecessary and focusing on what's going to get you to the money right now. This means having conversations with people who have money and who you have proof are doing or needing or already doing the thing that you want to provide for them, and then doing it better than what they're already doing it more insightfully, more thoughtfully, with more care than they may even take, and that will shine through. I always did a little pitch video. I try to keep it under 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Profit producing activities. Exactly, my man. Exactly. Great work. Okay. I hope I wrapped this one up enough. If I didn't, guys, this strategy, this DM me this word, it just works. And so what I implore you to do is to give this a try on your next post, on your next story, in your next email, or in your next caption. Give people the next step. Don't just sit there and anticipate that just because you do it once, you're going to get a bunch of people responding to you. This works in conjunction. If you have a small audience, you're going to get a couple responses. The larger the audience, the more responses that you're going to get. And so give this a try, tweak it. This is something that can get you leads right now. And then when done over and over again, you're going to get new people who discover your old stuff. So your old YouTube descriptions, your old YouTube posts, when they have this in there, you're still going to be getting leads into the future. So don't misjudge a piece of content that didn't work so well right now, because if it just brings you one lead that turns into one client, that's a minimum of $3,500. For some of you, that's 10, 15, 20K, depending on the price of your offer. Let's wrap this up. In the next episode of Client by Client, we're going to be talking about what it takes to make a killer lead magnet. What needs to go into it? What do you need to know? What do you need to modify about your current lead magnets so that they pull more leads in that are far more likely to turn into paying clients? So be sure to come back tomorrow for the next episode of Client by Client. Whenever you are ready, here are 3 ways I can help you grow your online business. First, get your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, and your email inbox? Well, you're losing leads in the cracks and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. That's why I created GetBookedCRM. It's 100% free at the time of this recording, and it helps you get leads and turn them into clients in half the time. To get your free copy, all you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the letters CRM. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got over 900 coaches and growing from all over the world. They're just a step ahead of you at the exact same step that you're at right now, managing the same problems that you are right now, or they're 1 or 2 small baby steps behind from where you're at right now, and all ships rise in a high tide. Get around them, get around me, and get access to my favorite weekly resources and other resources I find to help me grow my online coaching business so you can grow yours. To get your free invitation out, all you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the word group. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting some coaches together this month to implement my strategies and methods for injecting a minimum of 15K worth of new clients into your online coaching business, or doubling your coaching roster over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But finding the right people is super important to me. So only respond to this if you are a relationship-focused coach who always puts the person ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 1 year, or you're not brand new to online coaching. You like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media every month without wasting money on paid ads. You have at least 300 friends on a social media platform, email list, or Facebook group. You are willing to take bold action because you know your success depends upon it. And last but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you, I want you to grab your phone right now, tap on Instagram, and search at @WhatUpJeremy. Hit that message button and send me the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions about your online business, your goals, and your vision. And then I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program, how we're already helping other students to crush it with my methods and frameworks, like Henry, who got 8K worth of clients in his first 30 days, or like Juan, who set up for a 60K month in August. This is all possible with the right support, with the right help, and with the right mentor. Let's also discover what would be the most. We'll also uncover for you what part of the program will likely have the biggest impact as soon as you're in your online business so you know what to expect. Again, all you have to do is message me the words case study. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cheers. Boom. So sorry. No, Chris, you're good, bro. Of course. Thanks for being here and for asking great questions. I think that your question helped a lot more than just you. So I really appreciate you asking it and being here. It means a whole lot. If you made it all the way through to the end, will you drop me a peace sign in the comments, in the chat below, whatever is there? That way I know you made it through the end and I can share you some love. Go subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher is now done. I don't know if you guys got that email, Google Play, and you can get the show in your favorite podcast player. That's it for me. I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Peace out.